Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the 144,000 and the 1/3, the large multitude. Unto you I say shalom. So today's lesson that I want to get into, it's about the economic collapse, the collapse of the dollar, there shall be no work for Egypt. So first scripture I want to get is Isaiah 19, chapter 19 and verse 14. And it reads, "The Lord had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do." So what this is going into is about how all the corporations, all the jobs, careers, all types of work, they're going to fail. Ultimately, they're already failing. There's thousands of layoffs, retail, transportation, tech jobs. You got all these fast food restaurants laying off, thousands of workers being replaced by AI. So ultimately, you got AI replacing everything, and that's helping with the collapse of this economy, which is going to lead to the collapse of the dollar. It's going to make all these jobs obsolete. And, it's going to lead to those CBDCs, which ultimately is going to lead to the MOTB, that micro C-HIP. So next scripture I want to get is, we could get Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3, and it reads, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." So yeah, that's going into the future of this place, the optimism. It's gonna go, it's gonna disappear. There's not gonna be any optimism. People aren't gonna be looking forward toward the future. They're looking at their situation, their job situation, the economy, inflation. They're looking at that, at the future economy, and it's not looking too bright. Ultimately they can see that, the dollar's about to collapse, which is going to lead to all hell breaking loose. Verse 4, "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of the music shall be brought low." So yeah, all the music, being pushed out today is trash. Every year it gets worse and worse. You got Sexy Red, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, just pushing degeneracy. It's not like what music used to be back in the day, So next scripture I want to get is Second Esdras chapter 16, and I'm going to start at verse 40, and it reads, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." So yeah, in the days, to come, when all hell breaks loose, we're not going to be able to be in one spot. We're going to have to move around, move as pilgrims from place to place. Verse 41, "He that selleth, let him as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose." Verse 42, "And he that occupied merchandise as he that had no profit by it, and he that builded as he that shall not dwell therein." Verse 43, he that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planted the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Verse 44, they that marry as they shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And here's the point, verse 45, and therefore they that labor in vain. So, all these people working all these extra hours, building up their 401k, their pension, it's going to be all in vain. It's not going to profit at the end. When the economy collapses, the dollar collapses, it's all going to vanish. All the work they've been putting in is going to be brought to naught. Next scripture I want to get is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10, and it reads, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and then howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. So that fish gate, that's going into, the economy, the stock market, the banks. When all that collapses, you're going to hear a great crash from the hills. That hills is going into the governments. People are going to be crying out. And ultimately, what this is all going to lead to, it's going to really lead to that MOTB, the micro CHIP, the mandatory implementation of the micro CHIP. And we could get that real quick. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17, and then no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So that's going into the micro CHIP. That's what the MOTB is. It's going to be a physical mark, be introduced when the economy collapses. The dollar is no more. It's all going to be digital. It's going to be a digital currency, and it's all going to be inside that MOTB. But that's pretty much it for this lesson. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the 144,000 and the 1/3.